Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Good afternoon, team. How is everybody doing today? I hope you're all very well. Looking forward to the weekend. A few beers, some nice food, hopefully some nice weather as well. Yeah, I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad. I feel really tired this week actually. A bit extra tired, I'd say actually this week. So I'm actually quite looking forward to the weekend. Usually it's usually it's a weekend, but this weekend I'm actually really looking forward to get some time away, relax a bit. Uh, I did see your comment about the Chinese meal you had earlier, Arthur. I can totally relate to that. Good afternoon, Alia, as well. Good to see you. All right, chaps. Friday afternoon. Generally speaking, we sometimes do something a little bit different on a Friday afternoon. Good afternoon, Jay, as well, and everyone else. Good afternoon to you all. So yes, Friday afternoons I do like to generally take the time with you guys and review things maybe in a bit more of a relaxed aspect, go through a couple of talking points, or we do a scalping session, something like that. So today is going to be no different. We are going to have a bit of a different session today. Okay, so we're not actually going to be looking at the markets really. We're not going to be looking at the charts so much. I mean, I'm looking at the indices at the moment. Nothing's going on as far as I'm aware. The yen weakened off after this morning, so it's probably provided a couple of trading opportunities. The pound's having a bounce now as well from words on the wire. So it is what it is. So I'm going to leave the charts aside, and I'm actually going to talk about psychology. Okay, now I've got private messages recently from a number of traders. Actually, it seems to be a bit of a theme this week, and it's strange that you've all private messaged me at the same time regarding the same thing without knowing each other's doing it. But the sort of running theme so far has been that you guys, or some of you guys, feel like you're plateauing in terms of your learning of the markets. I've had one community member asked for a little bit of suggestion and guidance around share options, stock trading. I had another one as well, and really wanted me to point in the direction of in material to constantly be expanding his mind, which is absolutely fine. There's no harm done at all. But I think something really jumps out at me when a new trader who's been involved in the markets for a matter of months, maybe a year max, comes to me and says, I've plateaued. Because, it just really stands out because, I think it's more down to, you particularly as the trader. And I'm speaking to you, but I'm saying, as a generalization to everyone in the room. I think it comes down to you as an individual to actually allow yourself to continue developing and learning. It's not so much about the fact that what you're seeing in the chart is, like the back of your hand, because frankly, you don't. You've got to be very, very sort of resilient and do this day in and day out, over and over and over again. Repetition, guys, okay? It's all about repetition. But, I mean, with that being said, I'm going to go through some psychology parts with you guys today. Now, I don't really spend much time on the psychological side of things. I mean, it's more Mark's area. I know he enjoys going through it a lot, but I just thought I'd have a go, basically. So what I've done is I've pulled up a really old article, and it's actually like a bit of it's like a blog, if you like, or an explanation, and it's all about the four demons of a trader's mindset. So this is something that I've referred to many, many times over the years. It's written in a little bit of a humorous way. There's throughout the thing they go into how what the demons actually look like. So it's a little, you have to take it with a pinch of salt. Okay, it's a little bit extravagant, shall I say? But it's very, very good, and it explains the psychology of a trader's mindset down to a T, and it will relate to every single one of you in the room. So that's what we're going to do today. So I've managed to pull it up. It was in an old file on an old hard drive that I had, and like I said, I've been using this for a really long time. Throughout the entirety of my retail trader to proprietary trading, I referred to it over and over again. So it's definitely something that might be worth you guys listening in on and hearing explanations of the certain points and stuff as we go along. So the 4 demons of a trader's mindset. First of all, the 4 demons are greed, fear, euphoria, and panic. Now, I know most people know greed and fear, but I'm not sure if everyone actually knew to associate a euphoria and panic with their trading. Okay, we usually use the words like excitement or over-optimism or confidence. Okay, it's euphoria. That is all under the euphoria hub. So, greed. Okay, the greed demon is the number 1 enemy of a forex trader. Okay, and this demon has a long and spiky tongue which constantly whispers in our ears that the opportunities in the market are going away unless we act quickly to profit from them. Its feet are on fire. It screams faster, faster to the trader, stressing him, causing him to lose focus. It has an empty belly, is emaciated, weak, and hungry because none of his exhortations for speed and greed lead to the slightest profit in the end. It is perhaps natural that the vast majority of forex traders are money-orientated, profit-seeking individuals who attach great importance to financial success. It is also true that without a strong drive for making money, no trader will be able to withstand the pressure of the forex market. Okay? In moderate amounts, the drive to achieve monetary gain and focus on financial success are healthy and necessary. But these healthy impulses become unhealthy when they direct our trading decisions. The greed demon needs to know his place, and he must not interfere in trading practices which must be formulated by logic and logic alone. Okay, so that there, you know, all about the demon taking control and the fact he needs to know his place. That is almost like, I don't know if anyone of you know the book. I actually suggested the book to you guys a long time ago when you asked me about good books to do with trading, and I gave you one that had nothing to do with trading at all, but that really helped me be a better trader, and that was called The Chimp Paradox. I don't know if you guys actually remember. But yeah, it's absolutely incredible, The Chimp Paradox. Really, really good. And that greed demon, that affects every single one of you. Okay? The need to be in the trade, the need to get going as soon as possible, to cut corners, to not wait for that extra break and close above the moving average before you take the trade. You know, all of these things are about greed because you want the monetary gain and you want it now. Okay? So, how to avoid the wrong choices forced on us by greed? The first step for conquering greed is ensuring a disciplined approach to trading which minimizes the role of impulse in our trading decisions. Okay? So the first step for conquering greed is ensuring a disciplined approach to trading which minimizes the role of impulse in our trading decisions. So first of all, this is really going to be coming down to a checklist, criteria, system, strategy, process. Okay? All of these things, that is what every single one of you is really going to need if you are serious about the Forex market and you are serious about being with a financial trader long term. Okay? You're not here for a few years and you're busting a gut, you're losing money, and then you just give up at the end of it. Okay? You need to have a checklist and criteria in place. It's a must, okay? An absolute must. So after this, you can go away maybe, write on a checklist. You know, I hear in the room all over the place that the trading conditions at the moment are absolutely rubbish. Some people are messaging me saying they haven't got anything else to learn. Go away and work on a checklist that you can follow step by step before entering a trade in order to maximize the profit, the probability of the position that you may be interested in. By formulating a trading strategy in the beginning and remaining loyal to this throughout the course of your trading career, we can ensure that greed has nothing to do but bow down and silence as we study the markets and make our decisions based on reason and analysis alone. Okay? So once you've got that checklist and you've got that criteria, you stick to it like glue. Okay, you never ever leave it, and you just consistently follow your rules and criteria. If you do not follow your rules and criteria, you do not want to be a Forex trader. Okay, and you guys need to say that to yourselves. Okay, you don't follow a rule, you don't follow a system, and you don't remain loyal to that one system that you know can be profitable. If you just try hard enough and you stick to it, you will be a Forex trader. But if you don't, if you cut corners, you're going to be blowing accounts left, right, and center, and you can basically say goodbye to your Forex career. Success can be achieved by a refined trading method and its disciplined application. Emotions thrive where uncertainty and fear are rampant. To avoid such a situation, we'll ensure that our responses to market developments are calculated and based on the principles established by our diligent study of them. Since our motivation alone or desire for profits will not ensure that we actually acquire those profits, there's nothing, literally zero, to be gained from listening to the teachings of the greed demon. Okay? So just again, to avoid such a situation, we'll ensure that our responses to market developments are calculated based on the principles established by our diligent study of them. Criteria, checklist, strategy, okay, process driven. Since our motivation alone or desire for profits will not ensure that we actually acquire those profits, there's nothing to be gained from listening to the greed demon. Absolutely nothing at all. Okay? Nothing at all to gain from that. So that's going to be it for greed. So the next one, guys, is fear. Okay? And this one is absolutely awful as well. Okay? Really, really awful. So the fear demon. This fiend has a fearsome sight and a sharp voice, bellowing, growling all the time, trying to intimidate us into indecision in everything that we do. Okay, now this one is going to be completely relatable to every single person who has ever first come to the Forex market. Okay? Fear has the opposite role of greed in our trading decisions. Instead of inspiring us to trade like a machine gun, opening and closing the positions with speed of lightning, fear convinces us that nothing that we do will be profitable in the long term, regardless of the power of our analysis and the amount of study and consideration gone into perfecting our method. Okay? So just once again, instead of inspiring us to trade like a machine gun, opening and closing positions with the speed of lightning, fear convinces us that nothing we do will ever be profitable in the long term, regardless of the power of our analysis and the amount of study and consideration gone into perfecting our method. In this case, a fearful trader will be unable to wait for the realization of a profitable position, and he will be unwilling to act on the basis of rational expectations. Okay, so that's a really interesting part here. Okay, in this case, a fearful trader will be unable to wait for the realization of a profitable position, and he'll be unwilling to act on the basis of rational expectations. So this is when, if we take a certain individual here, hopefully David doesn't mind, but I'm going to use David as a really good example here because it's a great example to use. So David in gold had a very good position long, and then exited the position about 180 pips short of where the target of where he expected price to go. So David was absolutely fine and correct in his gold analysis. He took the trade based on criteria. He did not let the greed demon affect his trading performance on that given day. But what took place is fear. He was fearful that a pullback would actually turn into a reversal. And in fact, gold ended up doing about 180 pips north of where he originally got out from. Okay, that right there is fear. Okay, the fearful trader will be unable to wait for the realization of a profitable position and will be unwilling to act on the basis of rational expectations. Good afternoon, David. I hope you didn't mind using that example, but it's a very, very good example and for constructive criticism. You know, you've got to be confident in yourself and do not let fear take a hold. Okay, You've got to be confident. You've done, every single one of you does very, very well. It's amazing to see the changes that have come with some of you that have been long members here. But you cannot let the fear demon take a hold. Be confident in yourself that you've done the work necessary in order to take the trade in the first place. So, in addition, the fearful trader will be unable to realize losses that result from mistaken assumptions, and the red ink in his account will keep spreading everywhere as a result. The result is usually ruin, as fear leads to more and more irrational decisions, and few trades are profitable. A few long-held losing trades will eventually wipe out the account. Okay, so just once again, in addition, the fearful trader will be unable to realize losses that result from mistaken assumptions, and the red ink in his account will be spreading everywhere as a result. So that sentence right there, guys, okay, this relates to, I've had a complete mind block now. So so that sentence, it completely relates to thinking what the market's going to do and reacting. I talk about all the time, be reactive, not preemptive. Okay, trade what you see, don't trade what you think. Those really cliche trader sayings, that is exactly what that relates to. Okay, you think price action is going to go and break and close above a moving average, so therefore you take the trade before it breaks and closes and it bounces back from there, no matter how far past the moving average it actually goes. Okay, you have to be reactive to the trade, not preemptive. Okay, don't make any assumptions. You can only trade what you see. Do never trade what you think. It is necessary to distinguish between conservatism and fearfulness. Being conservative in our trading decisions is surely a healthy and sensible practice. A conservative trader is skeptical about everything he hears, but is still willing and able to act when his study confirms a profitable risk-reward prospect for a particular scenario. Okay, so this is about being picky. Okay, there's fearful and there's being picky. Being a picky trader, being a conservative trader and only aiming for the best of the best, that's not a bad thing. That is a healthy thing. Okay, and it's not, don't mistake that with being fearful. Conservative trading, fearful trading, two very, very different scenarios. The fearful trader, on the other hand, is incredulous of not only the opinions of others, but everything that his analysis tells him too. He doesn't know what to do, where to look, which trade to take and which to avoid, because all are the same to him. As he doesn't trust his own logic, he has no tools with which he can understand or evaluate market developments. The end result is something akin to panicky gambling, with deleterious results being the inevitable outcome. So losing results, okay, being the inevitable outcome. Okay, so that's a really, really interesting point here as well. He doesn't know what to do, where to look, which trade to take and which to avoid, because all are the same to him. Now, how many times, guys, okay, for those of you who are new and old in the room, we see new members come into Forex Signals, and the first thing we hear is, where are the signals? Or, is this trade a good one? Who are the people to follow? Okay, that right there is in essence fearful. Okay, that is being a fearful trader. One, you haven't got a process and system. Okay, you haven't got your checklist, so the greed demon's already taken control, so the greed is already there. But then we have the fearful one coming in as well, okay, which are skeptical about everything. They're skeptical about everyone. They don't know which logic to trust because they don't have any prior experience in the markets at all anyway. So they're just completely making misassumptions all the time, okay, which is why it's so important to find a system and stick to it and to be loyal to it throughout the entire journey in your Forex career. Okay, to avoid the disastrous effects of fear, we must train ourselves to understand that there's nothing random about a successful trading career. We must be convinced that we are in control of our choices. We must have a clear plan to which we adhere with iron will, impervious to the illogical emotional extremes of the crowd. Okay, now I really want to put some emphasis on this particular sentence, okay? We must be convinced that we are in control of our choices. We must have a clear plan to which we adhere with iron will, impervious to the illogical, emotional extremes of the crowd. Okay, now that's a really, really interesting point right there, okay? The illogical, emotional extremes of the crowd. Okay, I really like that area, and it's something that really stuck out to me years ago when I first stuck my hands into this. And everybody seems to follow the same thing. Okay, everybody is obsessed with what is the best way to trade. Is it candlestick patterns? Is it indicators? Okay, what are the big boys doing? Is this an institutional level of support, or is this just a basic level of support and resistance that I found myself? Okay, what does have validity? What doesn't? What is not a valid area to go short or long at all? You know, there is no way. Okay, so that emotional extremes of the crowd. This is basically saying that you need to be you in the markets. Okay, you need to be you. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing, because then let's go back to logic. Logic suggests, okay, that 85 or 87 or 92% of traders in the world lose money in the Forex market. Okay, that's in the world. 85 to 90% of retail traders lose money and will never trade again, or they'll just carry on gambling and hoping for the best in the world. Okay, so why then does everybody try and do the exact same thing? You tell me that. Anybody answer me that question? Everybody's failing in the Forex market, so I'm going to go and do the exact same thing as everybody else. It doesn't make any logical sense, guys. So you must be convinced that you are in control of your own choices. You must have a clear and dedicated plan to which you will adhere to with iron will. Okay? And you will not be affected by illogical emotional extremes of the crowd. Pick something, stick with it, run with it, and be loyal to it all throughout your trading careers. Excuse me, eyes are getting sore. 2 seconds, guys, actually. 2 seconds. Sorry, guys, I was necking a single malt. Cheers. So where were we? Rational expectations. Okay, yeah. So, where were we? The avoid because of it doesn't know what to do. That's fine. So, excuse me. All that is only possible by a logical, calm approach to trading, which can only be gained by patient study. Okay, so just to continue on then, we must be convinced that we are in control of our choices. We must have a clear plan to which we adhere to with iron will, impervious to the illogical emotional extremes of the crowd. Okay, choose something, stick with it, be loyal to it, and master it. Okay, don't go and spread yourself over the entire internet looking for the best pattern, looking for the cleanest head and shoulders that you've ever seen. Finding out whether actually, there are more profitable traders using candlestick patterns than there are using indicators in the world. You have to find something that works for you and stick to it, okay? Every single successful and consistently profitable trader has done the same. All that is only possible by all of that is possible by a logical, calm approach to trading, which can only be gained by patient study, okay? Another good way of avoiding fearful trading decisions is ensuring that we do not over leverage our account and risking only so much that when the account is wiped out, we can laugh at the outcome and go on and seek our fortunes in another aspect of life. Okay, so this is another mega important point. Okay, I don't know about you guys, but who in the room has ever heard of the another cliche trader saying only risk what you're willing to lose. Okay, only trade money that you're willing to lose. As soon as you go into a trade, you have to write it off. You're not there with the mindset of, if I take this trade, it's going to be, no food for a month. It's going to be pasta for the rest of the year. But I'm going to hope that it's going to go in my direction, because I may be on pasta for a year, but if it wins, I could be fine dining for a year. Okay, put the house on it, Nicholas. Exactly that. Okay, so this is directly relevant to us out there that love going big or going home. Okay, and don't get me wrong, guys, I actually love that saying as well. Go big or go home. I think it's a great one, but only for nights out. Okay, I do not apply that to trading. Yeah, no problem at all, Gene. Take care. So another good way of avoiding fearful trading decisions is ensuring that we do not over leverage our account and risking only so much that when the account is wiped out. Okay, so this is talking in an absolute. So when the account is wiped out, we can laugh at the outcome and go on and seek our fortunes in other aspects of life. Okay, so what is this telling us? This last bit about the over-leveraging of accounts and trade only risking what you're willing to lose. What is that actually telling you? Okay, what this is actually going on about here, right, is if you have already written off the money that you're trading with, don't you think that you are going to actually perform better without the pressure? Okay, without that pressure of, I need to make money. Okay, I'm trading this money because I need to make more. For whatever you want, a new fridge, freezer, a new car, a new property, I need that money. So therefore I'm going to trade because I need more money. Okay, which goes right back to demon number one. Okay, greed. Okay, so if you have already wiped that money from your mind, it does not mean a single thing to you whether you make it or whether you lose it, then you are going to be much more consistently accurate in your trading analysis. Okay, you really are. You really will. Okay. So the next point is euphoria. Okay, that's the next one. So the queen of Forex demons, as it's written here. The queen of Forex demons, euphoria, is a creature that promises unlimited wealth and delivers unlimited misery and destitution. Euphoria works hard to ensure that wherever we look, we see nothing but wonderful prospects for limitless profits. It is as if the trader has somehow been blessed with the Midas touch, with success being the natural consequence of his routine behavior. Under normal circumstances, euphoria has little relevance for most traders because most are aware that success in Forex trading is not child's play. While magnificent profits in a short time are sometimes possible, such gains are usually the result of a period of study and practice during which the false promises of euphoria are proven repeatedly to be meaningless. In the case of the beginner who doesn't possess this background of hard work and study, euphoria may result from a string of profitable trades as the trader comes gradually to believe that his understanding of the markets is impeccable, his analysis flawless. Okay, so that last one I really want to focus on now as well. In the case of the beginner who doesn't possess this background of hard work and study, euphoria may result from a string of profitable trades as the trader comes gradually to believe that his understanding of the markets is impeccable and his analysis flawless. Okay, so this one here is really interesting, guys, and the reason that one there is very, very interesting is simply because, let's say trader number one has a really, really good week. He is going to be on cloud nine. He's going to be absolutely buzzing with his trading profits. He's going to be thinking to himself deep down in the deepest parts of his soul, even if he doesn't even realize it himself, he is still going to be euphoric. He's just made £1,000. Okay, he turned 250 quid in a week to £1,000. He's really, really excited. The next week comes, he goes over trading. What does he do, guys? He blows his entire account. Okay, over trading, euphoric feelings, excitement, optimism. You know, we've just been through these a couple of days ago. But it's incredible. It's incredible how often this destroys traders' accounts, you know, this over-optimism. Okay? So it's really, really important to remember that you have a good week, you'll have a bad week. You'll have a good month, you'll have a bad month. You could even come down to a point where you've had a great 16-month period and then you have like a 7-month losing period. Okay? The drawdown period. It's all part of being a trader. Okay? The natural life cycle of a trader. Everybody has it. Okay? You get euphoric on the wins when you're a beginner, and then you get really, really disheartened and you get fearful, okay, after you have a losing week, you know, the following week or whenever it may be, hypothetically speaking. Okay? So it's very, very important to just think of them the same. Okay? You've already written the money off. If you get more money, great. You can go out for a beer. If you don't get more money, fine. You can still go out for a beer because you've already written that money off and calculated for it. Okay? The key here, right, is the knowledge that the first condition for performing a flawless analysis is beginning with the assumption that no analysis is flawless. Okay? So that right there, guys, key sentence here. The key here is the knowledge that the first condition for performing a flawless analysis is beginning with the assumption that no analysis is flawless. There is no such thing as flawless analysis. It's the Forex market. Nobody's got perfect analysis. Okay? So it's impossible for you to think your analysis is absolutely flawless, or whoever you're following at the point in time has got absolutely flawless analysis because he's had a good, you know, I don't know, whatever, 5 days or such. You know? It's only through long-term consistency, years and years of profitable months, and you know, and years obviously, that you're going to really have that, the trader's mindset that, you know, it's not going to happen over a week, it's not going to happen over a month. It'll probably be a few years. Okay, so the key to that is the knowledge that the first condition for performing a flawless analysis is beginning with the assumption that there is no such thing as a flawless analysis. Consequently, the successful analyst or trader is always skeptical about the value of his explanations, although he doesn't hesitate to act on them because he bases his work on logic alone. He takes away greed, he takes away fear, okay? He bases it on process, okay? The process, the trading plan, the execution criteria, the strategy or system that he has used from the first day he went to the Forex market, because he is loyal to that strategy. He is stuck with that strategy for the entire time. Okay? So consequently, the successful analyst or trader is always skeptical about the value of his explanations, although he doesn't hesitate to act on them because he's following his process, he's following his criteria. The profit potential of the next trade taken is independent of how profitable the previous one was. Okay, so another interesting statement here. The profit potential of the next trade taken is entirely independent of how profitable the previous one was. So set and forget. We use that term all the time. But if you ask yourself out loud, do you really stick to that set and forget methodology? I really don't think you do. Because if there is long-term trades that we've done in the past, I'm probably asked about it twice a day, every single day, throughout throughout my period with Forex Signals and some of these long-term trades. Okay? Even trades that aren't even that long-term, like intraday trades, I will be asked about them in the morning stream, and then I'll be asked about them again in the afternoon stream. Okay? Once a trade is taken, we have already done the analysis. No analysis is flawless because there's no such thing as a flawless analysis. We haven't got greed, we haven't got fear. Okay? We are following a process, we are following execution criteria. Once the trade is in, we do not think about the trade again. It's written off. Okay? We don't care about that anymore. It's completely done and dusted. What you want to do, that trade's done, brush it off to one side. You focus on the next trade. You focus on the next. Opportunity that the market brings you. Consequently, there's no sense in getting excited about a string of profits. The next trade may or may not be profitable, depending on how diligent your study of the market was. So, let's say, for example, you have a blinding win on, I don't know, Euro Oz. Let's say you have a blinding win on the Euro Oz to the long side, right? You hold your position for a couple of days, you take 350 pips profit, right? That next day, you might trade long the Euro Oz again and it falls back down to base cap, 350 pips. You've just given every bit of your profit back. So, yes, you've got a winning trade, but don't let euphoria lead you into making another mistake and taking another long in the Euro Oz after you've just done 350, because you're probably just going to give the profit back. And then you're gonna fall into the fear demon, okay? And then the fear demon's gonna take a hold. You're gonna start having, issues with fear instead of euphoria, and you'll bounce between fear and euphoria consistently, okay? And then then it basically say goodbye to your psychology and the mindset of a trader, okay? So there is literally no point and no sense getting excited at all about a string of profits, because the probability is that you're going to give half of it back, maybe all of it back in the next couple of days. All right? So just remember that, guys. Later, Jay. Take care, mate. Thus, the best way of avoiding euphoria, okay, is by understanding that a string of wins or losses does not impact the outcome of the next trade that we will take. Okay? The success or failure of the next trade is only dependent on how capable we are of excluding these demons from our study of the markets, and in that knowledge lies the alpha and omega of a successful trading strategy. Okay? So just once again, guys, the best way of avoiding euphoria is by understanding that a string of wins or losses does not impact the outcome of the next trade that we will make. Okay? So, if the trade loses, let's say we have a losing trade, or we have 5 losing trades in a row, that is absolutely fine. Who cares? Okay? Because once those trades are done, they're done. You got to ask yourself out loud, right, I'm at my desk today. I've had a losing week this entire week. Am I going to actually carry that losing week over with me and stress out about it before I've even looked at the next week's opportunity? Okay, what difference, let me ask you this, what difference is stressing about a losing week going to make in your future trading performance? Okay, is it going to benefit you? Is it going to really have a beneficial effect by feeling down in the dumps and feeling low and feeling fearful, okay, and hitting that fear demon because of what happened last week? You're not going to be able to go back and gain those pips back through time travel. What you're going to have to do is completely switch that off and focus on the future. Every single day is a brand new opportunity in the Forex market. Every single day. Okay? You go home or you shut your PC down for the evening, whatever you do, wherever you are, you turn off the charts, you wake up the next day, it restarts. It's an entire fresh page, and it's not even the same book. It's an entirely different book. Okay, so switch off from that area of having a losing week. Focus on the next day or the next trade. Focus on the next probability, the next opportunity that you've got, and leave the past in the past. Only focus on the now and potentially the future. Okay, so the success or failure of the next trade is only dependent on how capable we are of excluding the demons from our study of the markets. Okay? So, last one, guys. Okay? We've got panic. Okay? And panic is the opposite of euphoria. In a panicky situation, the trader sees nothing but losses in the market, with no possibility of concluding a profitable trade. This is an exceptionally strange way of thinking in the forex market, since by definition, the loss of someone must be another person's gain. When a trader is losing large sums on a long currency trade, another trader is possibly making large profits on a short trade on the same instrument. This fact by itself should have helped traders to be more realistic in response to bouts of panic in the forex market, but experience shows that this isn't obviously the case. So what are the causes of the panic that leads a forex trader to wrong choices? Obviously, periods of market volatility are the most common catalysts of panic response. As price fluctuations increase in depth and frequency, the value of predictions diminishes greatly. This results in a loss of confidence in our trading choices, and if the period lasts long enough, the inevitable emotional outcome is panic in most cases. Okay, so that paragraph there, trade war negotiations, Brexit, okay, those two things in particular, ECB interest rate viewpoints, economic outlook, okay, all these subjects, especially the trade war negotiation ones between Trump and stuff, and Trump on Twitter, those unexpected market volatility spikes create panic, okay, it creates doubt, it brings the fear demon in a little bit, okay. It makes us think that maybe our analysis isn't as good as it once was. Maybe, the predictions are, the value of the predictions that we're making and the shouts that we're calling diminishes, okay, exactly as it's stated here. Okay, so, it's important to understand that when there's areas like this, try focusing on a different instrument for a while, okay, if you're a new trader, okay, if you're getting the feeling of the panic, the panic demon, he's coming to you, you can feel yourself panicking about this. Try switching over the currencies. Try moving over to trading the Australian dollar and the Canadian dollar more. Trade the CAD against the NZD. Trade the euro against the CAD, the euro against the NZD against the Aussie NZD. Sorry. There are pairs to avoid. Okay, there's definitely pairs to avoid here. Okay. A panicking trader will commit all kinds of errors. He will close a profitable position in expectation that it will reverse quickly, David, and everyone in the room. Okay? A panicking trader will commit all kinds of errors. He will close a profitable position in expectation that it will reverse quickly and will register losses soon. Now, how many times, guys, right, do you think in Forex signals as well, when I have posted a trade signal, or Andrew's posted a trade signal, okay, and our trades go right down into the red, and people are, and you guys, a lot of you guys, new members in the room, are all, this trade's lost, or trades almost hit stop loss. You see consistent feeds of the messages coming through, and the trade signals get lit up, like the loss is going to be coming soon, okay. But then, how many times does price action reverse and actually hits target profit in the end? Because that happens as much as the stop loss gets hit. Okay? It literally does. It happens the exact same amount of time over the longer term period. Okay? So, don't panic. Don't have that panic feeling. Remember that you have followed your process. You have followed your criteria. You've done your analysis. You have been process driven. You don't have fear, you don't have greed. The trade that you've just executed, the money you've already wiped off the table anyway, doesn't make a difference. Okay, it makes no difference whether it hits the stop loss or whether it hits a target profit. One way, you're going to be out X amount of money, which you've already predetermined and calculated for. And the other one, you're going to make a bit of money, some more money to trade higher sizes, higher lot sizes, or just to add to the account, add to the account balance. Raise those profit percentages, okay? He will be unable to perform a logical analysis of his situation and will instead become the victim of mental illusions or potential scenarios. Trading what you're thinking, okay? That's exactly what that is. He will be unable to perform a logical analysis of the situation and will instead become the victim of mental illusions on potential scenarios. oh well, actually, this trade's, I've had a few losers now. I'm starting to panic. I'm not entirely sure, if my analysis had any validity anymore. So right there, I think the market's going to go this way, so I'm going to take that trade. Oh, but hang on a minute, I didn't wait for the break, the close, and the retest. Oh, now the trade's not even broken and closed above, it's gone the other way. It's another loss. The panic builds. Then fear sets in. Okay? So it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing, and it happens to everyone. Okay? The ultimate arbiter of a trader's success or failure is, of course, the market, but for the panicky trader, all kinds of imaginary benchmarks, unreal expectations constitute the major criteria for the invisibility and ultimate profitability of a trade. The impact of panic is greatly amplified by leverage, and the damage caused by it is intensified by tight stops. Okay, so risk management, choking the trade. Okay, don't go and choke the trade. This I can't remember who it was now for the life of me. It's a member. I think it's a she as well. She's still a member here. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember for the life of me who it is. But there was a trader here that I was dealing with for a while in private messages, and she was going through a really bad bout of choking the trade. She would call the trade right. It would be absolutely fine. But she would have like a 300 pip target profit in a 20 pip stop loss. Okay, and she was consistently choking the trade for fear and for panic that there was going to be a reversal, and she didn't want to lose. She didn't want to lose the money. Okay, so what we talked about earlier as well in the other demons. Okay, so it all was a big mixture of that, and after a time we did get much better. She did get much better. I'm sure she's still a member here. I can't remember who it is now, but yeah, she did get better with time. But it was only through the patience side of things, in helping her along the way, in in the private messages and stuff, and really sort of having some stiff conversations with her, that broke her out of that habit of choking the trades. Okay, but this here, the impact of panic is greatly amplified by leverage, and the damage caused by it is intensified by tight stops. So don't go and choke the trade. Yeah, potentially when the account's small, but use micro lots. Okay, use micro lots, or use a demo account. Use a demo account to consistently learn the strategy and get better with it. So guys, this brings us up to the conclusion. Okay, to deal with the problems associated with trading psychology, we must minimize the role of emotions in our trading decisions. To minimize the role of emotions, we must understand that success or failure are not related to luck, but are the logical consequences of our own choices through markets process, analysis, and system. We discussed before that it is almost impossible to have an unleveraged account wiped out as the consequence of a single trade. If the trader succeeds in realizing an empty account as a result of a string of losing trades, it's hard to speak of luck or chance as being the cause of the disaster. Leverage is entirely in the control of the account owner. He can set it any value provided, blah, blah, blah. I don't really need to know that. But leverage amplifies the profit loss potential of a trade, but it also intensifies the emotional aspect of trading too. Okay? Because you're risking greater amounts. You're able to lose more money as well at the same time as gain more. But you never think about the fact that you can lose more. You only think about the gain because of the greed demon. Okay? The greed demon is always there in the background. Okay? And that point there is very, very good to put emphasis behind, because traders love leverage because it means they can make more money. But what traders don't remember is that it means you can blow way more accounts. Okay? The best way of dealing with emotional problems is acquiring a logical approach to trading. The best way of acquiring that attitude is understanding the market mechanisms and the forces that direct economic activity. Okay? So system, process, criteria, trading style, your strategy that you've chosen to go for. Don't go and just swander through a zillion strategies. I mean, mine, Andrew, and Mark's styles, they're all very different. Mine's not going to be right for some, Andrew's aren't going to be right for others, and Mark's not going to be right for others after that. But pick a strategy and stick with it and remain loyal to it. All right, guys. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I really, it was good going back through it. I refer to that all the time. It's bits of information that have been picked up throughout the years as well, and I've sort of expanded on areas and stuff. But I really thought it was important, and considering the fact that we've done so much work on analysis and technical analysis and fundamental stuff recently. I really wanted to put some more effort into the psychological side of things. I know some of you appreciate that in particular, so I wanted to do something else for you guys. I am going to end the stream there, and the main reason is it will be a nice stream for you guys to revisit should you want to, and you won't have to sort of swap it in with analysis of practically things that aren't happening at the moment in the markets. So guys, I'm going to wish every single one of you a very, very lovely weekend. It's been a pleasure with you this week. As always, absolutely love spending the time with you guys and focusing on the markets and stuff and seeing you, gain on your journey. So guys, have a wonderful weekend. Look forward to catching you on Monday. So take care and good luck. I'll see you then.